You'd think we would have learned our lesson in the 80s when VHS took on beta for control of your home entertainment. But seeing as how New Wave has made a comeback, we're obviously doomed to repeat ourselves this time. It's HD DVD versus Blu-ray. We're going to find out exactly what it means for you in The Loop. Now, before the break, we asked you what would win the format wars, and the results are in. 63% of you thought that Sony Blu-ray is going to be the new ruler of the high-def world. And joining me to talk about the HD wars from New York is Peter Rojas, co-founder and editor-in-chief of Engadget.com. Peter, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
It's always a pleasure. I like the new hair, by the way, and the shirt on the long sleeve shirt with the collared shirt under it. I have the market cornered on that, my friend. I just want you to know for next time.
It's a little chilly in New York today.
I bet. Let's talk about the HD versus Blu-ray. The format wars are going on. First of all, what are we going to actually watch on this thing? Because with movies like Swordfish and Doom and Apollo 13, is anybody going to upgrade their collection? Where are the Star Wars and the Lord of the Rings? Why should we care?
Yeah, it's definitely not going to happen for movies like those. But as you remember, when DVD came out, it took a few years until stuff like Star Wars came out on DVD.
True.
So it takes a few years until like the big thing.
You know, the adult industry, when they get behind a format, it seems to work. And whenever they get behind something, they really get behind it. Have they picked a format yet?
Well, I think some parts of the industry have gotten behind Blu-ray and others behind HD DVD. I think some in the porn industry prefer HD DVD because it's actually cheaper to produce than Blu-ray.
Right, and traditionally, isn't the cheaper technology the one that kind of dictates where the market goes? Do you think that'll be the deciding factor in this upcoming war?
Well, I think that we're going to muddle along for a couple of years at least, or at least another year and a half until it's clear, until we have a better sense of which format is going to win over the other. But I think that this time last year, it looked like Blu-ray was going to prevail. Then Microsoft and Intel announced that they were going to get behind HD DVD, which sort of brought it back into the game. And so what you have is a lot of tech heavyweights standing behind each format. So it's really hard for each to land a knockout punch.
Now, technically speaking, which format, in your opinion, has the leg up?
Well, I think from a technical standpoint, I think Blu-ray is the superior of the two formats. I think that it obviously has a higher storage capacity than HD DVD, which means that you can fit higher quality video on there. But I think that each has its advantages and its disadvantages. I think from a production standpoint, like I said, HD DVD is cheaper to produce than Blu-ray, which means that ultimately the discs should be cheaper for consumers as they start coming out. And eventually, I think that production, the difference in cost will be erased between the two formats. But for right now, HD DVD has that edge.
Now, a lot of people said, well, clearly Blu-ray is going to win before this war even begins. It's pointless to fight it because the Sony PlayStation 3 is going to support Blu-ray, and therefore Sony wins. We know PlayStation 3s are getting into the homes. They've got the name established. It's kind of their digital Trojan horse, as some experts, like myself, would say. Do you agree with that? Do you think that the PlayStation 3 is going to decide this war at all, or do you think because the fact that the 360 is supporting HD DVD, it's still anybody's game?
Yeah, I think the fact that Microsoft is supporting HD DVD definitely makes it a little more difficult for Blu-ray to prevail. I think that Sony is making it a little more difficult for themselves than it could be. They are using the PS3 as a way to sort of shoehorn and establish a Blu-ray as a superior format. The problem is the PS3 is going to be so expensive, as we learned at E3 last week, when it comes out, that I think a lot of people are going to... I think a lot of people aren't going to be buying the PS3 specifically for its Blu-ray capacity, but more as a gaming platform. And I think that it's so expensive that it means that a lot of people aren't going to be buying one in the first place.
Sure, they're going to wait until the library's there, until all their favorite porn titles are available, and until the price is down. That's when people are going to jump on. Do you say wait? Do you say just hold off on the game before we even buy into a next-gen format?
I think that if you're going to buy a PS3 anyway, it's nice that the Blu-ray thing is a bonus. But I think that most people are going to wait before buying either drive, any kind of player, because no one wants to get stuck with a Betamax player just like 25 years ago. And it's going to be a little while until either format prevails. Remember, we've already actually gone through a format war where neither format prevailed, and basically consumers ended up completely uninterested.
Sure.
And
hopefully we are not doomed to repeat ourselves here. But time will tell. Peter Rojas, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, check out Engadget for more info on all this jazz.